Sam is learning about cycles in science class. Today, his teacher introduced the water cycle. As Sam helps his mom prepare dinner, he realizes that he is seeing the water cycle in action in his own kitchen. There are some parts of the water cycle in this picture. Click on the highlighted areas to see them up close. When done, click the Next button to discover even more about the water cycle and to learn why it is so important to life on Earth.
So, we learned about water cycle in our life every day that we can see in front of our eyes, not only about the rain and snow. Can you tell me some of our lives? How can you see the water cycle in our life every day? Take a look at this kitchen and try to tell me the example. Yes, Layan.
There mm, in the table there is a water.
Yes. Okay, how
And
do you know it's part of water cycle?
because it inside of this glass there is water.
Okay. What else?
I say
Yes, you can say.
the eh, when you make hot the pizza, not the microwave, that other thing. The one
Okay.
that has like a bowl and then inside it you boiled like pasta and soups.
What about water?
Yes, yes. The water that we boil, that's the water cycle. That
Okay.
like is a part of water cycle.
Okay, maybe you need this revision just to refresh your memory, and I will ask you again about it, Layan, okay?
Okay.
Let's start.
Sam stirs some rice into the pot of boiling water. The water level in the pot has gone down a little. Some of the water has evaporated from the pot. Sam wonders where it has gone, but then he remembers his lesson from earlier. Can you think where the water may have gone?
Now, what do you think, Layan or Leah? Where did the water go? Can you tell me where did the water go? He put a lot of water inside a pot, okay, and to make rice, and it was boiling, all right. Then when he came back, the water has decreased. So where did the water go? Yes, Leanne.
I think it evaporated.
Excellent, evaporated. What do you mean by evaporating?
Evaporating when you see the water turns from wait from the liquid to gas.
Excellent. So evaporation means when water turns from liquid to gas. Is it the only way in our life to see evaporation when you cook some rice?
No, still
Okay,
have
give me another example.
me
Yes.
when when you see the window, the glass, if you blow at
No, this is not evaporation. I'm very happy that you remember this example, but this is not an example of evaporation. It's only when you boil water to make rice. How about if you are making some tea? Are you gonna boil water?
yeah, yes.
So whenever you boil water, it will turn from liquid to gas. We call it evaporation. Now, the question here, Yalia, evaporation needs hotness or coldness?
Hotness.
Excellent. It needs hotness to evaporate. What about this window? What is going to happen? Evaporation too? No, something else. Let's take a look.
When Sam looks out the window, he notices that it has started to rain. This is another step in the water cycle. Sam knows that rain comes from clouds, but how does this happen, and why?
So, what do you think? What do you think? Yes, Yelia.
It was raining.
Raining. Okay. And what do we call raining? When rain falls from the sky, what do I call this process? Evaporation too?
No.
Very good. What do you call it? Evaporation? Okay, this is part of the water cycle. Can you read the first word? It is about, yes?
Precipitation.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so this is precipitation when water falls from the sky or from clouds to earth. Now let's see this one.
Sam learned in science that the water cycle describes the way that water on Earth is in constant motion. As he picks up his glass of ice water, Sam feels that the outside of the glass is wet. This is because water from the air has touched the cold outside surface of the glass. Do you know how this happens?
Now, what happens over here when cold air meets hot air? Hi, Asilian. What do you think? What is happening here?
Condensation.
Excellent, condensation. So we saw the three processes that happens in water cycle in our real life. So this glass condenses from the outside. What is condensation? When water turns from what to what?
Do I say?
Yes, Yelan.
From a gas to a liquid.
Excellent. From gas to a liquid. Thank you, dear.
Welcome to the lesson, What is the Water Cycle?, where you'll learn about the importance of water and how water cycles from Earth to the clouds and back to Earth. The vocabulary words for this lesson are water cycle, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, runoff, and atmosphere. Click the words to find out more. Think of an organism, any organism. No matter which one you've got in mind, it needs water. That's because all life on Earth needs water to survive. Although there seems to be plenty of water on Earth, most of it is salt water. In fact, only about 1% of Earth's water is fresh. Let's take a closer look at how water is present on Earth. Click the labeled spots on the circle graph.
Now, why is most of the water on Earth is salt water? Because it comes from where? Who can tell me? Most of the water on Earth is salt water. Look at this diagram. Salt water is 97% of Earth, and the fresh water is only 1%. 2% is glaciers and groundwater. Why? Salt water. What are salt water? Where can you find salt water, girls? In the lake? In the pond? Where can you find salt water? Hi, Leanne. Where can you find salt water?
In the ocean and sea.
Yes, excellent. Ocean and the sea. Very good, very good.
Because it is a cycle, the water cycle has no real beginning or end. But let's pick a part of the cycle and begin our exploration there. Click the pictures to discover how the processes of evaporation and condensation keep water circling through our atmosphere.
So, I would love to start with evaporation. These parts are all related to the water cycle, and they are going to repeat themselves again and again. So I would like to start with evaporation.
Evaporation is a process by which liquid becomes a gas. For water, this gas is water vapor, which you can't see. When the sun warms water in the oceans and other bodies of water, it evaporates into the atmosphere from the surface.
What is the atmosphere? Do you have any idea, Leah or Leanna? What is the atmosphere?
Yes.
So you have an idea what is atmosphere?
Evaporation rate.
Okay, evaporation. When water vapors, okay, where does this vapor go? Up or down? Up, excellent. It will go up in the sky. What else up there in the sky? Only one gas or so much gases?
So much gas.
Excellent, excellent. And these bunch of gases, what do we call them? We call them atmosphere, okay? So when the sun warms the earth or the water on earth, the water will what? Condense or evaporates?
Evaporate.
Yes, excellent. Evaporates. And it will go up high in the sky, and you cannot see it because it's only water vapor.
Water can evaporate quickly or slowly. High wind speeds and high temperatures speed up evaporation. Cool temperatures and low wind speeds slow down evaporation.
So evaporation can be very quickly and it can be very slowly. It all depends on the wind around it.
Water on Earth is stored in icy glaciers, oceans, lakes, and rivers. As we discovered earlier, only a small percentage of this is fresh water and available for use by organisms living on land.
Now I want you to tell me about this picture. What do you see in this picture? What do you see on this picture? Is it only pieces of ice or we call it something? Hi, Leanne.
Yes, miss.
What do I call these sheets of ice?
I think we call them glacier.
Yes, excellent.
I
Once
didn't
it
know that.
evaporates, water is stored in the atmosphere. This water vapor can be transported by winds over long distances before it forms clouds and falls back to Earth as rain or snow. So ocean water could end up falling as freshwater rain on your roof.
So when water evaporates, okay, and it will go up to the atmosphere before it condenses and forms a cloud. Should it be only where it evaporates form a cloud, or it can form a cloud in other place? Come on, girls. It will form definitely in other place. Why? Because it's carried by what? Hi, Aliyah. It carried by what? It will carry away by what?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Condensation.
Before it happens, condensation, water vapor, it doesn't have to form above the ocean. Sometimes it will form above something else. Why? Because this water vapor
Cloud.
was moved away by what?
Gas.
Yes, gas. It will move away by what? By wind or speed or what?
Wind.
Yes, excellent. By wind. Then to form a cloud, that means evaporation.
What?
If you want to form a cloud, what does it mean? What is the process that forms a cloud?
Moves.
Is it evaporation, condensation, precipitation?
Precipitation.
Precipitation is forming a cloud, are you sure?
Condensation.
Yes, thank you.
Clouds are formed when vapor condenses. As vapor rises in the atmosphere, it cools to form clouds. These clouds may produce precipitation, such as rain, snow, sleet, or hail.
So when it's rainy or snowy or bringing rain, it's not condensation and it's not evaporation, it is precipitation.
Miss, I can't hear anyone.
Okay, we're waiting for the slide to open.
Okay. I thought it was laggy and I couldn't hear.
As we just discovered, once water evaporates, it becomes vapor and eventually condenses into clouds. Can you remember what happens next? Click the images to find out and discover a little more about how this happens.
Now, Elian, after condensation and forming the cloud, what is going to happen?
Precipitation.
Excellent. What is precipitation?
Precipitation when water or rain or snow fall down from the cloud.
Excellent. Very good,
Like
Elian.
most things, air can hold only so much water. When air reaches its limit, water vapor condenses or freezes to form clouds. When the water droplets or snow crystals in a cloud get too large, they fall to Earth as precipitation. Depending on the air temperature, this precipitation might reach Earth's surface as rain, snow, or even freezing rain. Precipitation that doesn't sink in or evaporate is called runoff. It flows downhill into rivers and streams and eventually to the ocean. When the sun warms the oceans, lakes, and streams, water evaporates into the atmosphere. And, you guessed it, the cycle begins again.
So when precipitation comes down to the ground, and this water evaporates, there are some water will not evaporate. Why? Because they are a runoff water. Until they reach the ocean again, they will evaporate later.
Have you ever heard the expression, when it rains, it pours? Well, precipitation falls in lakes, streams, and oceans. It also falls on hard mountain tops, in parking lots, and on highways. It might be annoying if it interferes with your plans, but if it didn't rain, the area you live in would suffer.
So, precipitation has a path, has a lot of path to take. Water can go through the mountains, lakes, and rivers, also ponds. That's why they say when it's raining, it is pouring. So it will all go through these landforms just to reach the ocean again. So the river eventually will meet the ocean, and that water that comes above the mountain, it will slide and go all the way to reach the river or the ocean back again. All water can be back to the ocean, or there are some amount of water that cannot reach the ocean. It will go somewhere else. What do you think? Hi, Liana, what do you think? All water can reach the ocean back again, or some of them will stay in their places and go down?
Some of them is gonna go to other places and go down.
Do you know what do we call water that goes down the ground?
Yeah, groundwater.
Excellent, Liana.
When precipitation hits soil, some precipitation seeps under the surface, where it becomes groundwater. Groundwater flows into the spaces between the soil particles, as well as into underwater streams and aquifers. Aquifers are natural underground layers of water-bearing rock that serve to store groundwater. Aquifers can be really big. Some aquifers stretch under several different states. Did you know that right this second, the water cycle is happening all around you? It doesn't happen only in certain hot and wet areas, but all over the planet, everywhere, and all the time. Let's look a little more closely at how this occurs. Click the labeled spots to see how water constantly moves between Earth and its atmosphere.
Now, this is the picture of the water cycle and all the processes that can happen in the water cycle. First of all, let's start with evaporation. Evaporation, and we said when water, liquid water, turns to what? Hi, Leon. Liquid water will turn to what in evaporation? Leon, I can't hear you.
Miss, did you call my name?
Yes.
I couldn't hear it. It was too loud.
So, evaporation, when liquid water turns to what?
From liquid to gas.
Excellent. This is evaporation. Okay, Liam, condensation comes next. Condensation means?
It's strange to think that clouds are actually clumps or collections of liquid water, but they are. Clouds are caused by water vapor rising into the atmosphere, where it cools. When this happens, it turns to liquid form and condenses into clouds. Clouds float because they are less dense than air. When tiny water droplets clump together, eventually they become large enough to fall back to Earth as precipitation. If the air is cold enough, water vapor changes directly to ice, and you get snow. Precipitation can either seep underground or become runoff. Water that seeps through the ground is called groundwater, and it can wind up in an aquifer. Runoff eventually returns to oceans through streams and rivers. The sun heats up surface water and it evaporates into the atmosphere. As most of Earth's water is held in oceans, most evaporation takes place from the oceans. Now that you're aware of the components of the water cycle, you can see that what goes up as evaporated water vapor must pour down as cleansing and cooling rain. Without both these phenomena, life as we know it simply wouldn't function.
So what goes up must pour where? Sinan.
Everywhere. It has to go everywhere.
So it will go up again? What goes
No,
up will go up again?
No, it will go down to the groundwater.
Excellent.
It will go down to the ponds, sea, and also rain at cities and countries.
Excellent. And eventually it will go up again to continue the water cycle.
Let's see if you know the flow. The flow of the water cycle, that is. Match the definition with the vocabulary word. Drag and drop to match your answer.
Now let's play this game. Leah and Liana, are you here and ready? Okay. Up you have the process and down you have the name of this process. Now, let's start with Leah. When water changes to water vapor, what do you call it? Choose one of the down words. Hi, Leah. When water changes to water vapor, what is it? Is it runoff, precipitation, groundwater, condensation, evaporation, or water cycle? Come on, Leah. Or Liana. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay, Leah.
First one.
Yes, when water changes to water vapor, what is it?
It's a water cycle.
Are you sure? To water vapor.
No. It's condensation.
Is it evaporation or condensation?
Condensation.
Are you sure it's water vapor?
No, evaporation.
Excellent, it is evaporation. Okay, Liana, your turn, Liana. Liana, are you here? The process by which Earth recycles water. What is the process that Earth recycles water? It's very easy. Hi, Liana. Okay, what about you, Lian? Lian?
The process, it's water cycle.
Excellent, excellent.
It's
Okay.
too easy.
Yes, it is. Leah, again, water that seeps into the soil. Seeps into the soil, go down.
Ground.
Excellent, bravo. What about water falling from clouds to ground? Water falling from ground to water that comes from cloud.
It's a condensation.
Oh, why? Does it condenses or water falls from the sky?
Condensation.
No, It's not condensation.
Precipitation.
Yes, because water falling from the sky is precipitation. Excellent. What about water vapor changes to water? Again. Huh?
Runoff.
No, of course not.
Condensation.
Yes, you are guessing, Yalia. You have to think about it. When water vapor changes to water, it condenses, just like the window, just like the cup, just like making the clouds. When the clouds are full of water gas, they turn to liquid. Then, when they go down to the ground, they are coming as precipitation. Now, finally, water that flows across Earth's surface, we call it run.
Great job! You've matched them all.
This is the final slide. Let's see.
Imagine that all of Earth's water runoff were diverted into underground reservoirs and the seas disappeared. Sounds like a real problem. Describe what you think might happen. Do you think the water cycle would stop? Type your answer in the space below. Click OK when you're done.
Yes, Leanne. Is the water cycle gonna stop?
Kind of.
Really? Does it ever stop?
No,
No.
but the
Well,
season
with all the
they
water held
go-
underground and hidden away from the effects of the sun and the wind, evaporation would stop. It's likely, then, that the water cycle would eventually stop. You'd better keep a bottle in your fridge.
The water cycle will not stop because the ocean is really big, but when it's hidden,